Right, short date and learning objective, please, and then we will get on with the lesson. Okay, write that in your book. Pause the video, please. Press play when you're done. Right now, so today, the work set for today is really for set today, tomorrow, and perhaps even Thursday. Okay, now this is a really good opportunity to make sure we understand how to solve equations. Okay, now some of you, I don't really care how far you get, but you need to have the basics in place, and some of us I still don't think have that. So please, if you're struggling with a certain type of question, I will refer back to a different video to watch that and do some extra questions. If you just get up to question and understand up to question 3 and 4 on page 53, then I'll be quite happy. Okay, if we can get further, all the better. Okay, and I know lots of us will get further, but for some of us, if we can just consolidate that. So this is for 2 days. Okay, so I'll put the same video on and the same stuff next lesson as well. Okay, so it's a lot to work through, so you will have plenty to do over both lessons. Right, let's just start with, okay, so first of all, you watch the video looking at the differences between sort of equations, formulas and expressions. There was also identities in there, so hopefully that's fairly useful. So we're just focusing on equations where we have to find the value, isn't it? Find the value of the letter. So we're going to start off with fairly basic ones. So fairly basic ones. Let's go with equals 10. Now, remembering, and I'm going to I know for some of us this is going over some work you knew quite some time ago, but I'm not going to spend too long on it. Okay, so if we've got an equation like this, we have to find the value of x. Because there's brackets, whenever you see brackets, the first thing we do is expand the brackets. So we multiply what's outside the brackets with what's in. So 5 times x is 5x. 5 times minus 3 is minus 15, and that equals 10. Okay, now remembering what we want to be left with is x equals at the bottom of our equation, isn't it? So in order to do that, we need to just leave x on this side. So we want to get rid of this minus 15 because we just want to be left with x. So to get rid of minus 15, we add 15 to it. It's the balance method. The balance method, which means we do the same on both sides. You do the same to both sides. So that minus 15 plus 15 leaves that with a 0. So that leaves me with 5x. 10 plus 15, 25. This is 5 times x. So we want to get rid of the 5 times. So we divide by 5. It's the balance method. We do the same on both sides. X is equal to 5. Okay. If you're struggling with that type of question, okay, then you need to go back to the basic video that I put on there and go through the basic questions. Okay. I'm not going to do any more of those. You need to go back and the video will tell you, and just practice those questions. Right, and then we got slightly harder one. Okay. Now this has a letter on both sides of the equation. Okay, a letter on both sides of the equation. That just makes it a little bit trickier. But again, as long as you follow the same rules, first thing we do is expand the brackets. So 4 times 2x, 8x. 4 times minus 1 is minus 4. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is a positive 6. Okay, so again, we need to be just left with x on one side of the equation. Okay, so we need to take, so this is 3x here, we want to get rid of this 3x. So if this is 3x's, remember, if we take away 3x's, we're left with no x's at all, are we? That leaves us with nothing. And we do this the balance method, so we do the same on the other side. Okay, so it's so therefore 8x take away 3x is 5x. The rest stays the same. 3x take away 3x is 0, so we just live with a positive 6, aren't we? And from there we again use now we want to be left with x, so we have to get rid of this minus 4 next. So if we add 4 to that, that becomes 0. It's the balance method. We do the same on both sides. Okay, so minus 4 plus 4 is 0, so that leaves me with 5x on this side of the equation. 6 plus 4 is 10. Now this 5 times x, so we have to divide by 5, divide by 5. X is equal to 2, okay? If, again, you're not too sure about those, okay, there is an additional video that I put on there which says about equations with letters on both sides. So you need to go back and do that before you go any further with it, okay? And do some questions on those. Right, and then we've got another one. So w minus 4 divided by 3 is equal to 2. Okay, now with this type of question, the first thing I want to be left with w, that's the value we need to find, okay, on the one side of the equation. First thing I want to get rid of is this divided by 3, and in order to do that, I times it by 3. Okay, it's because this is a divide by 4, w taken by 4 divided by 3. If I times that by 3 and times that by 3, okay, then that leaves me on this side with w minus 4 is equal to 6. Okay, and again from there it's pretty straightforward. I just want to be left with w at the bottom, so I want to get rid of my minus 4, so I add 4 to the other side. Okay, w is equal to 6 on 4, 10. Okay, I'll just do one more of those. Okay, just one more of those. So we get x plus 20 over 8 is equal to minus 2. Okay, so again, I want to get rid of this divided by 8, so I times it by 8. Okay, because I want to be left with x here. Times that by 8. Minus 2 times 8 is minus 16. Okay, and then on this side, because by times in that, I'm just left with the x plus 20, so I'll go rid of that. Okay, so again, this is plus 20, so I need to get rid of it because I want to just be left with x here. So I'm going to minus 20 on that side, so minus 20 here. Minus 16, take away 20 is minus 36. Minus 36, x is equal to minus 36. Okay, x is equal to minus 36. Right, okay. Right, yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Right, can we please have a go at page 53. Can we all have a go, please, just at question 3 only? Question 3 only, okay? When you finish those, press play on the video. Right, hopefully you were able to do those 3 questions, okay? If you couldn't do those 3 questions, you need to go back to the basics that I've put on the portal, okay? All the information is there on the portal about where to go. If you're struggling with that, you need to be able to do this before going into year 8, okay? You must be able to do these, and even if it means you do a little bit over the summer holidays, please do, okay? Right, let's go on to the next set of questions, okay? It's going to be quite a long video, but you probably won't get through it all today anyway, okay? So let's have a look at this question. Now we've got 9x minus 1 over 2 is equal to 3x plus 7. Okay, so again, just like the last time, the last questions, the first thing we want to get rid of is this dividing by 2. Because it's a dividing by 2, we times it by 2. Okay, so that will, and we have to do the same on the other side now. But timesing the other side by 2, the best way to do that is just to use a bracket, isn't it? So we put the 2 outside the bracket, 3x plus 7, because that means we're timesing both of them by 2. So just use the brackets there, please. And in doing that, we've now got 9x minus 1 is equal to, and we've got this bracket here, because when we're timesing both of these by 2, is the same as putting a bracket, isn't it? Okay, like that, because remember you times everything outside the bracket by everything inside. Okay, so next step is to expand this bracket. So this would be 6x, 2 times 3x is 6x, plus 14. And actually you can see if you did 2 times 3x is 6x and 2 times 7 is 14, you would have done it the same. But it's worth putting it in the brackets because it's a good habit for more difficult questions ahead. So now we're left with 9x, and now we carry on as we would, isn't it? The first thing, we don't want x on both sides, so we want to get rid of this 6x, so we're going to take 6x away from it. It's the balance method. We take 6x there. 3x minus 1 is equal to 14. We want to get rid of this minus 1, so we add 1, so that leaves us 3x on this side because we got rid of that. Is worth 15 because 14 and 1 is 15. This part is 3 times x, so we divide by 3, x equals 5, okay? X equals 5. Right, I will go through a couple more of these because I do understand that it might not be that easy for all of us, okay? And I had to work on these myself, so let's have a little look. Let's go with 15x plus 1 over 4 is equal to 2x minus 5. So our first step is get rid of the divided by 4. Okay, get rid of the divided by 4. And I do that by timesing it by 4. Now by timesing this by 4, because it was divided by 4, that leaves me with 15x plus 1. And on the other side, I also have to times it by 4, so I'm going to just put the 4 outside the bracket like that, okay? So that is really the first step, okay, is we're multiplying both sides by 4. Then expand the bracket. 4 times 2x is 8x, 4 times minus 5 is minus 20, and then we go 15x plus 1 there. Again, I want to get rid of this 8x, so I'm going to minus 8x from it. Okay, I'm going to take 8x away from there as well. So that leaves me with 7x plus 1 is equal to minus 20. Okay, so at this point I want to get rid of the plus 1. So I take 1 away from it. So I also need to take 1 away from there. Okay. Oh, sorry, I've jumped ahead there, haven't I? So I got minus 20. I get to take 1 away from both sides. Sorry, I jumped ahead. So minus 1, take minus 1 there. So that gives me with 7x minus 20, taking 1 is minus 21. Okay. Again, it's 7 times x, so I'm going to divide it by 7. And I do the same on the other side because it's the balance method. X equals minus 3. How many 7s in minus 21? Minus 3. Okay, minus divided by a positive will give me a minus. Okay, right. Could we please have a go at? I won't do another one of those. Have a go, please, at question 4. Okay, question 4 on page 53. Okay. Have a go at those. Try your best with them. Pause the video while you're doing it, and then we press play when you are done, please. Right, okay, so hopefully you've understood that. Hopefully you've understood you can do those on question 4 now. If you can't, okay, there are some additional questions which I will refer to on the portal. Some additional questions to practice, and they build up to these ones, okay? But the same rules apply. Go back and watch this part of the video again if you're not too sure, okay? Yeah, even if it just helps you through, use the hints. Use the hints to help you, okay? Right, okay. Let's go on to question 8, okay? Question 8. Now, question 8. when I looked at these, okay, I just worked through the example because I can't remember doing these. It's been a long time since I've done these. So I had to work my way through the example and just do the same thing, okay? There's a really good example on page 54, and when you go to do them yourself, look at that example and work through, okay? So the first thing we have to do with these ones, okay, is find the lowest common multiple of the two numbers we're dividing by. We find the lowest common multiple, so the lowest common multiple, just do your lowest common multiple of 3 and 2 must be 6, isn't it? Because equals 6. So when I found those, I have to put that outside the bracket, okay? So I need to put the 6 outside the bracket. I'm going to keep everything else the same. Okay, I'm going to keep everything else the same at this point. All I'm going to do is put my lowest common multiple of the numbers I'm dividing it by outside the brackets. There, okay. Now from there, I'm just going to simplify. From there, I'm just going to simplify between these numbers. Okay, the number outside the bracket and the number I'm dividing by. So 3 goes into its 3 goes into. I know it's going to go in because it's low common. So it goes into itself once, and that goes into that twice. 2 goes into itself once, and that goes into 3 times. And then I'm going to write that out. Okay, what that does, it gets rid of these. It's the way of getting rid of these dividing numbers. Okay, the division numbers. So I've got 3x plus 6. This is what I've got up there, isn't it? Is equal to 3 over x minus 4. Okay, now this is confusing when you first do it. Okay, and I'm going to do some other questions, but also when you work through that worked example, you will understand a little bit more. So at this stage now, that means I have got rid of the dividings. Okay, and so from here it's pretty straightforward, because now I'm just going to expand the brackets. Okay, 3x minus 12. Okay, and then go from there and do the rest of the sum. Okay, so now I want to get rid of this 3x because I only want x on one side of my equation. So I'm going to minus 3x there to give me 3x. So I'll get 3x plus 12 is equal to minus 12. Okay, then I'm going to I need to take away 12 because I want to get rid of this 12 to leave me with x. So I have to do the same on the other one. So I've got minus 24. So now 3x is equal to minus 24. Now from here, I'm going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. So that leaves me with x on this side of the equation. How many 3's are in minus 24? Minus 8. So the value of x is minus 8. Okay. Now you can see that really clearly on the worked example on page 54 when you're going to do them yourself. Okay, if you can't remember, you go through that worked example and follow each step as it shows there when you come to do them yourself. Okay, let's have a look. Let's do another one. Let's go with let's go x take away 4 over 3 is equal to x plus 2 divided by 4. So again, we need to get rid of these of the divisions. Okay, and the first thing we do, we find the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4, and that would be 12, isn't it? Okay, the lowest common multiple is 12. Okay, so I'm going to just put those like that. I'm going to put 12 outside, and again we got x plus 2 over 4, like that. Okay, now I'm going to do this simplifying. How many 3's go into 12? 4. Yeah, how many 4's go into 12? 3. So now I'm left with this stage, x plus 2, and I'm going to multiply whatever's outside of the bracket, whatever's inside. So 4 times x, 4x, and then minus 16 is equal to 3x. 3 times 2, positive 6. Okay, and then I'm going to take away, just want to be left with x. So I'm going to look for the smallest value. We'll do one more with after this, but it's slightly different. Minus 3x. Okay. So that gives me that just leaves me with x there. X minus 16 is equal to plus x. Okay. And then to get rid of the minus 16, I'm going to add 16 to it. Add 16 this side. X is equal to 22. Oh, I think I might have made a mistake there. Oh, no. Okay. Maybe not. Okay. X equals 22. Right. I'm going to just do one more of those and then leave you to have a go at them yourselves. All right. Okay. So let's go with x plus 3 over 3 is equal to 3x minus 7 over 5. So we have to get rid of these, the numbers at the bottom, which are dividers, okay, the divisions. So we've found the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5, which is 15. Okay, lowest common multiple is 15. So we're just going to do our 15. And we're going to keep it the same apart from put 15 outside the brackets, okay? 15, 3x minus 7 over 5. Okay, that's our first step done. Then we're going to divide, then we're going to simplify along here, isn't it? 5 goes into once and it goes into the 3. 5 goes into once and it goes into that. Sorry, there should have been a 3 there. Apologies. It's been a long day. So we go 15 there. How many 3's in 15? 5. Okay, that would be 1. And that would be the 3. So we've got the 5 outside there. So we're left with 5 outside the bracket. X plus 3 is equal to 3x minus 7. Okay, so it's just working through, okay, looking at the worked example and just copying each step, and then it becomes very familiar. So it's 5x plus 15, expanding that bracket, 9x minus 21, expanding that bracket. Now at this point, okay, now I always kind of tell you want x on this side of the equation. It actually doesn't matter which side you have x on. So here, I'm not going to take away from 9. I mean, I could and I'd have a negative number here, but I'm looking for the number which is closest to 0. So actually, I'm going to get rid of this x. So it would be minus 5x minus 5x, okay? And I would go from there. So now I would have 15 is equal to 4x minus 21, okay? I want to get rid of this minus 21, so I'm going to add 21 to it. I have to do the same on the other side, add 21. So that leaves me with 4x here is equal to 36 divided by 4 divided by 4. X is equal to 9, okay? X is equal to 9. So that's about, if you want to as well, when we get to this stage, okay, when we get to this stage, and this is what sort of, sometimes this is, I still do this sometimes, although, it probably isn't much, it isn't really necessary. I just swap them over because the equal sign means this side is balanced with that. I'm going to just put 9x minus 21, so I'm going to swap this side of the equation for that side of the equation. 5x plus 15. So again, I know I'm going to have my x on this side, but it doesn't make any difference. And I do the same, minus 5x, and I would come up with the same answer of x being 9, I think it was, wasn't it? Okay, right. Now, have a go at question 8, please. In fact, let's, I can bring the last board here. Okay, so page 54. Question 8, please. Question 8, page 54. Question 8. So that's our next thing to do. Next question to do. Please use the worked example to go through every step. The worked example just above is really good. Okay, is really good. So when you completed those, okay. So when you completed question 8, so that's questions you've already done 3, 4, and 8. Have a go at question 6 and question 7. I've had a go at question 7 myself. It's really quite tricky, question 7. You can see the level of the work much harder. Okay, and then have a go at questions 9 to 12, and then you can have a go at the extension on here. Okay, now as I've said, this work is not just work for today, hence the length of this video. Okay, you'll have watched such a lot of video and done some, so you're not going to be able to do it all today. This is work to last us the next 2 days, and I'll stress again, those who are struggling, go back and relearn stuff from those other videos I've put on there. Okay, right, good luck everyone. Okay, and I'll do a quick video probably for our last lesson. Okay, bye.